Water. It's life-enabling. It's life-enhancing. And it can be life-threatening with very real consequences. The vast majority of drowning occurs in low and middle-income countries where daily contact with water for work, transportation and agriculture increases drowning risk. Drowning impacts the most vulnerable, children, the poor and the elderly. In many high-income nations, backyard pool drowning deaths have claimed a significant number of young lives. The impact on families affected is immeasurable.
He was floating just a few centimetres under the water, and it was the most... No one should see this sight. It was just horrible.
2, 3, oh.
Samuel is now 4 years old. He cannot speak, he cannot walk, and he is fed through a tube in his stomach.
You have children, you have this imagined life for them, that they'll grow up and have a family, good education, that sort of stuff. Now you live with a constant 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week care role for Samuel.
In Bangladesh, water is everywhere and poses a significant threat to children. Drowning has a lasting impact on families and communities. Drowning tragedies play out around the world on a daily basis. When drowning occurs in events such as ferry capsizes or flood disasters, entire communities are devastated. In November 2013, Typhoon Haiyan wreaked havoc in the Philippines, killing over 6,000 people and leaving another 1,000 missing. Floods associated with monsoons and intense tropical storms can and have claimed hundreds or thousands of lives in a single event. 75% of deaths in flood disasters are due to drowning, and disasters of this kind are projected to increase.
We have heard very sad stories that no one ever want to see it again. And you know that all the story and images got the same problems or cause it drowning. But very notably that anyone can drown. And more importantly, that drowning can be prevented. So that's the reason why today we would like to invite you to join with us in a special talk show on the World Drowning Prevention Day, co-organized by Ministry of Education, Ministry of Labor, and the World Health Organization. And our program is live streamed on the fan page of Child Drowning Prevention in Vietnam, and also the fan page of our panelists. And we have the singer Hoàng Bách, MC Hạnh Phúc, and all journalists Hoàng Anh too. So we would like all of you to follow our talk show today. So if you have any questions or concern, you can ask the question to all the panelists in the talk show today, and we're ready to respond any questions that you may have. And we look forward to your full attendance in this live stream from the beginning until the end of the program. Now, we warmly welcome all the delegates and panelists in our talk show today. On the government side, we would like to introduce Ms. Nguyễn Thị Hà, Vice Minister of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs. And we would like to introduce Dr. Đặng Hoa Nam, Director of the Department of Child Affairs, Malaysia. And we would like to introduce Ms. Võ Thị Kim Hoa, Deputy Director of DAC, Malaysia. We would like to introduce Mr. Nguyễn Nho Huy, Deputy Head of Physical Education Department of Ministry of Education and Training. Attending the talk show today, we also have representatives from different provinces, 12 provinces that are implementing child drowning prevention, and also media agency that covers the news for the talk show today. Thank you. So on the side of international organization, we would like to introduce Dr. Ki Dong Park, WHO country representative to Vietnam. And we would like to introduce Ms. Đoàn Thu Huyền, the country director of the Global Health Advocacy Incubator in Vietnam. On the side of parents, we would like to introduce the writer Hoàng Anh Tú, who a kind of columnist from the Students magazine. And very important persons is the singer Hoàng Bách and his family. So once again, we thank all the participants and panelists for your program today, and also thanks all participants for your watching of the live stream today. And we thank you all for very special talk show today with a topic on anyone can drown, but no one should be. So this is one of the series of actions in a historic resolution of the UN on drowning prevention. And this year, it's also the first year, 25th of July, is the World Drowning Prevention Day by the UN. So we would like you to watch an animated clip, let's join and swimming together. So let's listen to Mr. Hoàng Bách, the singer, and also his daughter. Yes.
Trên thuyền giờ đây đã an toàn, người thoát thích đi nào. Mình cùng tập bơi mẹ ơi, hãy nhớ phải luôn an toàn.
So the song is about swimming together. Parents and children, whenever you go to the water, they put life buoys on and make sure that you don't swim alone. But you should also swim with your parents and family members. So let's swim together. Let's make swimming a joyful thing. But we need to play together, making sure that everybody is safe when you swim. So that's the message from this song.
Oh yeah! Bơi an toàn các bạn nhé!
Thưa quý vị, và ngay bây giờ chúng ta sẽ cùng kết nối với
now let's get connected to singer Hoàng Bách. He's now working at home, so in his studio. Hello, Hoàng Bách. Well, very unfortunately that we are so much affected by COVID-19, and the situation it seems so complicated now. We can't meet in person, but anyway, we can see through the online meeting, right? So we can see our idol, so the singer Hoàng Bách. So Hoàng Bách, can you tell us about the message from your animated MV? Well, I have been invited to join with you in action against drowning. So then I started to get more about drowning. So I found that drowning is something that can happen to anyone. But in other words, drowning can be prevented and avoidable. So that's a message I just want to convey through my song. And we have renamed the title of the song, and the song had been sang by my daughter. Hopefully that it can be spread to all the people, and it also helps children and also adults. They should care more about drowning. They should care more about how we can make that people can be safe. So did it take you long to write the lyrics for the new song? No, very short. I wrote these lyrics with my co-author, a very young man in my band, very quick. And for the professional terms, I was provided by the organizing committee, but I just want to rearrange the sequence of the lyrics in my song only. And Khắc Duy is the co-author of this song. He's a young artist, so he wrote the song together with me. So very, very good. Thank you. So I strongly believe that with very familiar and meaningful lyrics, so it will bring good news to parents and particularly children, so that we can be safe in the summertime. So we will see you again after the talk. So now we would like to send you one more piece of news. On the 24th of April, so the first time ever, the UN resolutions designated 25th of July as the World Drowning Prevention Day. So Dr. Ki Dong Park, as a WHO representative, could you kindly help us to better understand the meaning of the recent UN resolution on drowning prevention and the recommendation on UN resolution to each member state to prevent drowning? So, please. Vâng, trước tiên tôi xin chia sẻ với các bạn ngắn gọn về cái thực trạng đuối nước trên toàn cầu. Chúng ta biết là trong thập kỷ vừa qua là đuối nước đã cướp đi sinh mạng của hơn 2,5 triệu người trên toàn cầu. Và theo ước tính của Tổ chức Y tế Thế giới, có khoảng 235.600 người tử vong do đuối nước trong năm 2010. Con số này nghiêm trọng và chưa bao gồm con số tử vong do tai nạn giao thông đường thủy, thảm họa và thiên tai lũ lụt. Đuối nước là một trong 10 nguyên nhân gây tử vong hàng đầu cho trẻ em từ 5 đến 14 tuổi. Đuối nước có thể phòng tránh được. Đuối nước để lại hậu quả nghiêm trọng và sâu sắc đến các gia đình và cộng đồng. Tuy nhiên, vấn đề đuối nước vẫn còn chưa được quan tâm đúng mức của xã hội. Thực sự, đây là thời điểm mang tính lịch sử trong công cuộc phòng chống đuối nước, khi mà Đại hội đồng Liên Hợp Quốc đã thông qua nghị quyết về phòng chống đuối nước với sự đồng thuận của tất cả 193 quốc gia thành viên trong Liên Hợp Quốc. Nghị quyết này đã chỉ ra rằng đuối nước có tác động tiêu cực đến sự phát triển bền vững của mỗi quốc gia. Đuối nước cũng cho thấy đuối nước và các giải pháp phòng ngừa đuối nước có liên quan đến các sáng kiến và đồng thuận trong việc đối phó với vấn đề về biến đổi khí hậu và giảm thiểu rủi ro thiên tai. Và nghị quyết đã chọn ngày 25 tháng 7 năm nay là Ngày Thế giới phòng chống đuối nước. Điều này là cơ hội tốt để nâng cao nhận thức về tầm quan trọng của công tác phòng chống đuối nước và kêu gọi sự phối hợp đa ngành cho các giải pháp cứu sống sinh mạng người. Vâng, như vậy là nghị quyết này đã khuyến khích tất cả các quốc gia thành viên xây dựng kế hoạch hành động quốc gia về phòng chống đuối nước phù hợp với các cái can thiệp được Tổ chức Y tế Thế giới đưa ra, bao gồm là lắp đặt các cái rào cản kiểm soát trẻ tiếp cận nguồn nước, rồi cung cấp cái môi trường an toàn cách xa nguồn nước như nhà trẻ cho trẻ lứa tuổi mầm non và giám sát trẻ, dạy bơi, kỹ năng an toàn trong môi trường nước và cứu hộ an toàn, đào tạo người dân kỹ năng cứu hộ và sơ cứu, rồi xây dựng và thực thi các cái quy định về an toàn giao thông đường thủy. Rồi nghị quyết cũng khuyến cáo là các quốc gia thành viên đó là đảm bảo việc ban hành và thực thi hiệu quả các quy định về an toàn đường thủy và tất cả các lĩnh vực liên quan, cụ thể trong các lĩnh vực như y tế, giáo dục, giao thông và giảm thiểu thiên tai. Rồi giới thiệu và đưa ra các bài học về an toàn trong môi trường nước, bài học bơi và sơ cứu trong các chương trình giảng dạy ở trường học, khuyến khích lồng ghép nội dung phòng chống đuối nước vào trong các chương trình giảm thiểu rủi ro do thiên tai có sẵn, cải thiện số liệu thống kê sinh tử và hộ tịch, trong đó bao gồm cả số liệu về tử vong do đuối nước, và thúc đẩy phát triển các nghiên cứu về đuối nước, nâng cao năng lực và tăng cường hợp tác quốc tế. So we would like to ask the Vice Minister as shared by Dr. Ki Dong Park
quan quản lý nhà
And
nước về trẻ em,
Ministries
bảo
of
vệ
Labor
quyền
is
trẻ
the
em
state
tại Việt Nam.
management
Xin bà có thể cho biết
agency
để
on
giải quyết
child
tình hình đuối nước trẻ em tại Việt Nam trong thời gian vừa qua thì chúng ta đã có những chỉ đạo can thiệp gì để giảm thiểu tình trạng đuối nước ở trẻ em
that we have
và
done
các giải
so
pháp trong
far in order to reduce drowning situation in Vietnam? Thank you. So we have seen a decline in child drowning rate by 3 to 5%, so equivalent to about 100 cases. However, child drowning rate in Vietnam still high. About 2,000 children die of drowning annually, so quite high among other countries in the world. So from the viewpoint of protecting and bringing the best value to the children, the government, party, National Assembly, and government really care for children's affairs, including child injury prevention, particularly child drowning prevention. There are quite a lot of charity policy and regulations adopted by the party and government had been adopted that laid the legal foundation for the work, particularly the revised law on child in 2016 and also the action plan on injury prevention for 5 years and 10 years as well. And in line with that, other provinces also implement and also reinforce the law and regulation adopted by the central agency by developing action plans and issuing the local decision and arranging resources to make it end. Many provinces had developed specific models and actions in order to deliver interventions for child injury prevention and child drowning prevention, and also providing child care supervision skills in order to prevent child drowning prevention. We are so happy that the 19th of July, the Prime Minister signed a decision 1248 on injury prevention program, which include some core solutions on child drowning prevention. So the decision will be implemented until 2030, setting the target of reduction of 20% of child drowning prevention. And implementations of the previous stage during the 2016 and 20, we had conducted quite a lot of comprehensive interventions and actions, and they are based on scientific and practical evidence, based on the practical experiences from provinces, and also based on WHO recommendation. And the models had also been implemented, adopted from other foundations like Bloomberg Philanthropies and also the HAI. We have seen very active participation from local authority, and we have seen encouraging figures. Over 200 communes awarded at the SAFE communes and 8,000 schools awarded at SAFE school. Malaysia also issued the criteria for safe home and safe community, and 6 million homes have been awarded at safe home. So it's a very good statistics in relation to training and providing skills and capacity building for staff. It also implemented, and also the skills on injury prevention and child drowning prevention are also provided to children themselves, and also survival swimming, and also water safety skills as well. We have also conducted supervision and inspection to warn some high-risk areas of drowning. So we have done quite a lot of work on that one. And international cooperation, it is also a good point, because it also provides a catalyst for us to implement the model in 28 provinces to other countries. So we really appreciate the support from the JHI and WHO for us in this regard, because they had helped and support us in the model in Vietnam, I think that can be adopted at the subnational level as well. So hopefully that we have done the good work so far. It's encouraging action, and it also a realization of the Prime Minister Decision 1248. But we have also seen the challenges. For example, it also defines responsibility of individuals and organizations for child drowning prevention and child injury prevention to some extent remain limited. And also parenthood skills in child care and child supervision remain limited as well. About 50% of child drowning cases are attributable to the neglectedness of their parents because they are easy to access open water around their home. So those are very prevalent challenges, which includes the skills, safe environment for children, and also the child caregiver supervision skills, and also the skill of children themselves. To some extent, they remain limited. So I think that in the coming time, we need to bring in full play the opportunity and advantages that we have done so far, and to realize the target set by the Prime Minister Decision. In Decision 1248, we propose some solutions that we really want to work with central ministries and sectors and international organizations, particularly the involvement and response of the community. First, we will review legal documents and legislations on child protection to make it more perfect, so that we can have either related action throughout the country. So there have been 8 ministry and sector signed in an MOU on this work. And in this regard, we want to synchronize the work in the whole system, but we also want to define clear responsibility. So it mentioned very clearly in this Prime Minister Decision about the roles and responsibility of governments at all levels. And second, strengthening skills for parents and caregivers, and also children as well, by organizing more swimming training and teaching skills for them, and also strengthen social resource mobilization, so that we can have more let's say positive model and more portable pool for children to swim. Joint efforts in setting up inter-agency collaboration by strengthening supervisions and inspections. So we will further strengthen that work so that we can early and timely detect risks of drowning, so that we can prevent drowning for children and assure the safety for children. So I can say that in relation to the recommendations, I just want to highlight the following points. First, we think that in order for the children to have a safe living environment and drowning prevention, the first and foremost, I have to say, is the responsibility of all levels of government. Second, responsibility and skills and the protection of the family and community. And also the engagement of teachers in teaching swimming skills, survival swimming skills, and also water safety skills for children. So, and I mean the resources are also important, and also child survey officers should also be increasing in quantity and also quality, and would be provided with the skills as well. So we hope that with the live stream today and participation from different agencies, as Dr. Park mentioned, 25th of July, it's an opportunity for us to make recommendations to governments of all levels and relevant ministry and sectors
cho trẻ em cũng là vấn đề nhân văn.
Child drowning prevention. And child drowning prevention is also a humanity issue in the protection of people's health in general. So we are so happy to celebrate the day when it is adopted as the World Child Drowning Prevention Day. Very happy for me to join with you and Ms. Huyền from GHJI and Mr. Tuang, the writer, and also family members here. Thanks for coming, and you have brought about new, or fresh air and fresh atmosphere in our efforts in child drowning prevention. Thank you. So thank you, the Prime Minister. So I think that we have seen very good model that can help reduce drowning in children, and we have seen similarity in the talk by Dr. Park and Ms. Ha. I mean the engagements of the education sector and also parents in providing them with the skill. So that's the reason why we have the engagement of the Ministry of Education and Training in the talk show today. So, Mr. Hui, we have seen that there had been some work between La Molisa and the Ministry of Education. So tell us about what work have been done jointly between the two ministries, and what are the plans for the future in providing skill for children in school system. Thank you. So on the side of ministries of education and training and the sector in general, we also understand our role and responsibility in providing care and assuring safety for children in general. We understand the education from the school, from the society, from the family play very crucial role. I also understand that education from the school system plays a very critical part in this process as well. We have seen that under the leadership and governance from the Prime Minister, Ministry of Labour, and also Ministries of Education in the issue of injury prevention. So the Ministry of Education had actively worked with the whole in our whole system in prevention of injury prevention and child drowning prevention in particular. We have also worked with the Ministry of Labour by realizing the Prime Minister decisions 1248. We have issued and circulated a system of guidance and document in the school system, including like safe school, and we have also developed a criteria for safe school in kindergartens and also lower and upper secondary schools as well. And the Ministries of Education also care for giving guidance to local authorities implementing actions of child drowning prevention. Particularly, we focus on education and communication, educating children with basic water safety skills so that they can proactively prevent the drowning. Apart from reviewing the guidance document, the Ministries of Education also pay attention to communications on mass media, on various channels of communications on the risks of child drowning. So we have been working so successfully with the Vietnam National Television. In the summer break of 2020, we produced and aired 20 very, let's say, joyful and funny video clips on child drowning prevention. So with a view, with an educational content, and the content were actively welcome and had very good feedback from teachers and students as well. So we also conducted communications on the events of, for example, like Child's Actions Month or the World Water Day and so on, and which means that we also collaborate with local authority in this regards as well. The third point, we also care for refresher training so that we can upgrade and provide more technical skill for the teacher in child drowning prevention in the school system. We have also worked with the Ministries of Sport, Cultures and Tourism, particularly the General Department of Sports, to teach survival swimming skills and also water safety skills for teachers in the school system, so that they can teach the students and they can launch the movement for teaching swimming for children as well. And the fourth issue, ministries of education also pay attention to inspection and supervision field work. We have worked jointly with other non-education ministries and sectors. For example, we work with the Vietnam Youth Union and Vietnam's Student Pioneers Force, and in some event or some occasion where children have, for example, like summer break of children, in recent summer break 2020 and 2021, there were lots of school children. They had to stay at home to learn online. So we thought it was so sensitive because they could not attend school. They could not go to the school to attend like traditional classes. And so actually there were some drowning accident cases happened during the summer break recently. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think in the coming time, as the Vice Minister has mentioned, the Prime Minister has issued a decision approving the National Program for Injury Prevention 2021 and 2030. In this decision, the Ministry of Education is assigned with very specific responsibility. So we will be continuing working with Molisa and relevant ministry and sector in order to implement this injury prevention program, which include child drowning prevention and road safety program in school system. The first action we do is to review the legal system so that we can see and we can further finalize the network or the criteria of safe school. And besides that, we also finalize other guidelines or documents so that can give instruction to teachers and students in drowning prevention skills. So actually, we have been working with Molisa and CHAI. We are reviewing already, and by end of 2021, the work will be completed so that we can issue a guideline for teachers on education, communications, and knowledge on child drowning prevention. And we will continue to finalize these types of guide in the school system in the coming years. And based on the issue or publish guidance, we will issue specific instruction to local authorities, and training will be provided to core task force at subnational level so that they can implement it. And the third action is that we will promote education and communication for teaching staff and teachers, embedded the responsibility for those teaching staffs and children in prevent child drowning. And we will also work in collaboration with the Vietnam Youth Union and Students and Parents Association so that we can promote education and to assure the safety for children, particularly when the children stay at home to learn online. So finally, during 2021 and 2030, I know that we have gained a lot of positive results recently already, but in the coming times, we will continue working with relevant ministries and sectors to implement the decision adopted by the Prime Minister, and we look forward to further support from ministries of labor, relevant ministries and sectors, and particularly international organizations like WHO and also the HAI. and also other international organizations, so that the education and training sector have more resources to implement child drowning prevention in education sector during 2021, 2025, and 2025 to 2030. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Mr. Hui. So we are so happy to see there are quite a lot of good work that have been done in education, in the school system. It all well responded by parents and children. So I want to ask a question to Ms. Huyền, the country director of the HAI. So we know that the HAI is one of some organizations that support child drowning prevention in Vietnam in the past 3 years. Can you tell us about how you have made contribution in reducing child drowning prevention in Vietnam? Thank you. Actually, yesterday morning, the WePro published child drowning situations in the regions. It's also one of the actions that respond to the World Child Drowning Prevention 25th of July. So just in the Asia Pacific and Western Pacific region, we can see quite lots of drowning cases. And it accounts high burdens of drowning prevention of the world. A major part of those cases are children. So let me compare with the total child drowning prevention in those two regions are higher than total deaths from other diseases like TB, HIV, measles, HIV, malaria, and so on. So child drowning is not only a public health issue, but also it affects the survival of the children. I also have discussion with international experts. It's quite rare in relation to, it's a kind of cultural aspect. People don't seem to talk much about drowning. It may be affected by the cultural aspects. So the more we avoid, the more it's become dangerous, because those children need to know the knowledge and also the skill. And when we are not able to assess the seriousness of the issue, so we may have insufficient resources for this work. Since 2018, with the support from the Bloomberg philanthropists, we from the HAI is so happy to join with Malaysia and other Mediterranean sectors with the technical support from WHO to implement child drowning prevention work in Vietnam. 8 provinces have been selected, 123 communes of 23 districts. Why are those provinces were selected? Because they got the high burdens of child drowning prevention in the country. We have been to very remote communes. We interview the beneficiaries. They said that they're so grateful to the government and also different agencies, because without that support, they are so worried about their children. When they grow up, they may face the risks of being drowned. And many of them are do not have the opportunity to learn how to swim. We have seen that we are still affected by COVID pandemic, but with the support from Malaysia and other agencies, we still provided training for almost 14,000 children with survival swimming. We don't expect that they can become a swimming athlete, but we expect that they can be able to swim. They can swim 25 meters, they can stay afloat for 90 seconds. Why? So, because according to international recommendations and others country appearances, that is the time enough for a child to be survived. So in addition, we also support children to learn their water safety skills in school system. Over 30,000 children are trained on water safety skill. So let we compare before and after intervention. So the proportion of children are able to swim in the intervention location increased from 14.7% to 25.5%. And among those cases, no child got drowned, and every children are safe. So that's very good news for us, because with the support from Molisa and also support from WHO, and through this program, so I know that there are quite lots of my friends and colleagues at the local level. They are watching this live stream program. I am so grateful to all of them, particularly many teachers. They don't seem to spend their summertime with their family, but they spend their summertime with the children-related work. And just to say that about 55% of households in our intervention locations, they are near poor and near poor families, but all done for the sake of children. And we are trusted, and children are sent to us for swimming training. So in these occasions, I would like to thank all the people at the local level, particularly teachers who were directly involved in our work. And we expect that our interventions will be expanded to other regions of the country. And the ultimate goal is that all the children will be safe, so that we will never see any sad circumstance where children die of drowning. Thank you. So I think that people, who are watching this program, I think that they also join me in this sense of happiness. Let me ask you a question. Are program being continued? And what are the promises, and what are the ways where parents can send their children to swimming classes in your intervention locations? Thank you. 103 comments of 8 provinces, and will include Yên Bái, Lào Cai, Ninh Bình, Thanh Hóa, Đồng Tháp, Sóc Trăng, and Đắk Lắk. And in the coming time, we are committed and expand to 4 additional provinces. So we expect that about 5,000 more children will be trained on swimming in those 4 additional provinces. And parents can join the program through school, and also Convinced People Committee also work closely with us, and we had helped set up portable pool in the intervention location. We have also supported the local authority to rent local portable pools. So if we join in a synergy, I'm sure that we can make it end and make it happen. Thank you very much. So I think that this is very encouraging news for children and parents, so they can join, right? So next in the program, we would like you to listen to sharing from the Bloomberg Philanthropies. So we would like you to watch a video clip from Bloomberg Philanthropies. Thank you.
At Bloomberg Philanthropies, based in New York City. On behalf of Mike Bloomberg and my colleagues at Bloomberg Philanthropies, I'd like to extend our appreciation to our partners in Vietnam for their leadership to prevent drowning throughout the country. We're also happy to celebrate with you the historical UN resolution on drowning prevention, passed by the UN General Assembly and designating July 25th as World Drowning Prevention Day. This highlights the importance of drowning prevention and the steps required for countries around the world to address drowning, a significantly underfunded and under-recognized public health issue. In Vietnam, nearly 2,000 children die from drowning annually. Drowning is the country's leading cause of death in children under 15 years old. At Bloomberg Philanthropies, we've supported drowning prevention in Vietnam since 2018, partnering with the government of Vietnam to support and sustain evidence-based interventions in line with the National Child Injury Prevention Guidelines to reduce drowning. It was initially undertaken in more than 100 communities within 8 provinces facing the highest burden of child drowning in the nation. Over the last 2 years, we've trained nearly 14,000 children on survival swimming and 30,000 children on water safety skills. We found that the rate of children learning to swim has increased nearly 2 times over, from about 14.7% to 25.5% in the program locations. That is much higher than the national rate. I'd like to applaud the government, the local provinces, and local districts for their commitment to providing survival swim instruction to children in their communities. We're excited that Vietnam has developed a 10-year action plan on child injury prevention, including the best proven intervention of survival swimming into their core solution and expansion of water safety education into the school system. The local in-kind contribution has been 5 times increased for the program intervention, and we're really excited to see the commitment and the scaling up of drowning prevention efforts throughout Vietnam. I'd like to thank Melissa, Madame Ha, the Ministry of Education and Training, Madame Min, and Dr. Keaton Park of WHO for your leadership to make this program successful. We look forward to continuing our partnership with the Vietnamese government, especially Melissa, the Ministry of Education and Training, WHO, the Global Health Advocacy Incubator, and other organizations to save children's lives by preventing drowning. We believe that Vietnam is a model for child drowning prevention, and we've been so satisfied and happy with the outcomes of their efforts. We wish you and your families all the best. Please stay safe in this very difficult time during the pandemic, and we do look forward to seeing you in person sometime soon.
Đuối nước là kẻ giết người thầm lặng, cướp đi mạng sống của gần 2.000 trẻ em mỗi năm tại Việt Nam. Hơn 55% trẻ em đuối nước sống ở trong các hộ gia đình nghèo. Điều đau lòng đó là trẻ em dưới 5 tuổi chiếm tỷ lệ tử vong cao nhất. Các nguyên nhân chủ yếu gây đuối nước ở trẻ em như tỷ lệ trẻ em biết bơi và có kỹ năng an toàn trong môi trường nước còn thấp, trẻ thiếu sự giám sát của cha mẹ và người chăm sóc trẻ, trẻ tiếp xúc với nguồn nước mở dễ dàng. Nhằm giảm thiểu tử vong do đuối nước của trẻ em, chương trình phòng chống đuối nước cho trẻ em giai đoạn từ năm 2018-2022 do Quỹ từ thiện Bloomberg tài trợ thông qua Tổ chức Vận động Chính sách Y tế Toàn cầu, trực thuộc Tổ chức Chiến dịch vì trẻ em không thuốc lá và sự hỗ trợ kỹ thuật từ Tổ chức Y tế Thế giới. Bộ Lao động Thương binh và Xã hội là cơ quan chủ quản phối hợp với các bộ ban ngành và địa phương thực hiện. Trong 3 năm qua, chương trình đã triển khai tại hơn 100 xã của 21 huyện thuộc 8 tỉnh, có tỷ lệ trẻ bị đuối nước cao nhất. Những kết quả đáng khích lệ có thể kể đến như chuẩn hóa tài liệu hướng dẫn bơi an toàn và kỹ năng an toàn trong môi trường nước theo tiêu chuẩn quốc tế và phù hợp với bối cảnh, thể chất của trẻ em Việt Nam. Lắp đặt mới 13 bể bơi và huy động hơn 60 bể bơi địa phương để tổ chức dạy bơi cho trẻ em. Hệ thống theo dõi và giám sát an toàn được áp dụng nhằm đảm bảo tuyệt đối an toàn cho trẻ. Gần 700 giảng viên địa phương được đào tạo chuẩn về dạy bơi an toàn, được cấp chứng chỉ của Tổng cục Thể dục Thể thao. Gần 600 giảng viên được đào tạo về giảng dạy kỹ năng an toàn trong môi trường nước. Hơn 30.200 trẻ em từ 6 đến 15 tuổi được dạy về kỹ năng an toàn trong môi trường nước trong trường học. Gần 14.000 trẻ em từ 6 đến 15 tuổi được dạy bơi an toàn. Tỷ lệ biết bơi chung tại 8 tỉnh chương trình hiện nay là 25,5%, cao hơn hẳn so với tỷ lệ trung bình 14,7% vào thời điểm trước can thiệp của chương trình. Gần 17.000 cha mẹ, người chăm sóc trẻ và giáo viên mầm non được tập huấn về kỹ năng an toàn phòng chống đuối nước cho trẻ. Thông qua các chiến dịch truyền thông, đặc biệt trong thời điểm dịch Covid-19, tại địa bàn chương trình, trên 78% cha mẹ và người chăm sóc trẻ được truyền thông về các biện pháp đảm bảo an toàn phòng chống đuối nước. Tỷ lệ này tăng gấp 4 lần so với thời gian trước khi triển khai chương trình. Để nối tiếp những kết quả ban đầu và đảm bảo chương trình bền vững, trong 2 năm tiếp theo, chương trình sẽ mở rộng thêm 4 tỉnh triển khai chương trình, phấn đấu dạy bơi cho hơn 13.000 trẻ và tổ chức dạy kỹ năng an toàn trong môi trường nước cho hơn 20.000 trẻ em. Chương trình sẽ vận động sự tham gia của cộng đồng, chính quyền địa phương để cùng bố trí nguồn lực một cách hiệu quả và bền vững cho chương trình. Từ đó, góp phần đảm bảo an toàn, sinh mạng quý giá của trẻ em khỏi tai nạn đuối nước.
Quý vị đang theo dõi tọa đàm trực tiếp Ngày Thế giới phòng chống đuối nước với chủ đề Ai cũng có nguy cơ bị đuối nước, nhưng hoàn toàn có thể phòng tránh.
I can't hear this. I can't hear the sound from the microphone. So anytime it happened, everybody care, and after that, and they care for other things. It like abuse, and everybody, claiming about abuse and child drowning as well. So only when those things happen that will attract the care or attention of parents. So I also really want to share with you Ministry of Education and Ministry of Labor how we can awaken parents, how we can make parents pay attention to their child's supervision. Because child's drowning can happen anytime, at any time, any location. So it's shared by Mr. Huy or Ms. Ha, and in my observation, so we are quite close to each other. We have seen solution, which means that all the knowledge and experiences that we tested in 8 provinces, and we have gained good results from over 103 communes. Tens of thousands of children are trained on swimming. So given such treatments, now through the Ministries of Education, Ministries of Labor, I would like the program to be expanded more. So I think by doing so, we can spread more intervention and prevention measures for children throughout the country. But let's think about what are the modes of communication we can do it better. Or we should wait until when the children physically come to the school and then they are educated about child drowning prevention. And in many cases, people just want to see whether they have the materials available to learn from it or not. And in my viewpoint, all the knowledge that I searched on the internet before I came here, and I'm sure that it seems that the way when we talk with the children seem to be quite a change compared to current situation. Because when I look at the contents of the teaching materials that I search on the internet, I don't think that it attracts the attention of the children. Now it seems that children really care about TikTok or other like funny things that they have seen on the internet. So let's make the contents of the education and communication messages to be attractive to the children. So we know that the rates of children learning to swim has been increasing, but to some extent that when children hear the information or the knowledge from their teachers, so they may forget it after. So my message again is that try to make our communication work, try to make the contents of the education should be more attractive to the children, and we can use the language of the children to make it more attractive in their eyes. So I encourage that we may use some model like swim model like our athlete Anh Viên, is a famous swimmer Vietnam. So if we have got the image of this swimming idol Anh Viên, that can motivate children learn to swim and try to make that swimming is something like that they dream, that they want to be like Anh Viên. So if any school that do not have the swimming pool, they can hire to set up a portable pool, and they can also organize a kind of swimming competition, even if for a short distance like 25 meters or staying afloat 90 seconds on the water surface. So we may use Instagram or TikTok to attract, to diversify, the way to attract the children on to the topics of drowning. So I just want you to set the children mindset to be aspirational, so that they learn it and they follow it. But we just solely rely on the role of parents. I think it's still very challenging, because I think that quite lots of parents having headache how to guide their children, or maybe in a minute neglected it, and then the drowning accidents may occur to a child. Yeah, thank you, writer Anh Tú. I know that in this COVID-19 pandemic, and there are some reasons where parents say, okay, I need to care about how we can assure the earning and the income for the family, so I may not have enough time to look after the children. But I also understand that this work needs to be jointly supported by multi-agencies. So I think that okay, we have watched a video clip, saw at the beginning of the program an animated clip. So in your eyes, do you think that it is attractive or not? Well, I also appreciate this types of animated clip, and this melody and song had become famous and easy to remember. And I hope that this animated messages will be spreading more widely, so that it can outreach to more children. And I also expect that it can attract the attention of children when they see it on the internet and find it attractive. So I think only singer Hoàng Bách or writer Tú Anh or I myself, MC Hạnh Phúc, share, it doesn't reach all people in the world and also all over the country. So we know that we have 8 episodes of this animated clips and movie, and that will be produced and published over time. Now we just want to go back to our singer Hoàng Bách. He is named as the father or like national father. Well, hello back again. Can you hear me? Yes, I don't want to be recognized as the national father. But I mean that because you are a famous singer and you are also a father, so I think that your voice is so influential, right? Don't you think so? Yes, I think so. Thank you. So, in your opinion, Hoàng Bách, what people need to pay attention to assure the safety and prevent drowning for their children? So, as we said earlier, it is not only an issue of children, adults are also at risk of being drowned. And even in my family, my grandmother were not able to swim. But from my generation, the first thing I have to say is that we need to survive first. We can save ourselves first. Because I often go swimming, so my children are able to swim when they are very small as well. So let me share with you a little bit my family story. Yesterday, because yesterday was the third death anniversary of my father. I also had a message that if you are a father already, you should not keep your eyes away from your children. So which means that you need to keep very close eye at your children, not only in real life but also when they are playing with the internet, because I mean the risks and opportunities are always going together. So I think the first thing that parents need to change their mindset, because if we only rely on the school and society, it's not enough. We need to have educational parents who can teach their children as well, making sure that your child will be able to swim even at very small. I know that some small children from 2 or 3 years old, they are able to swim as well. So I mean the first step is that you must be able to swim first thing, and you need to learn the survival swimming skills. And second point, we need to adopt innovative communications way. I also agree with the writer Anh Tu saying that we need to speak the language of the children and to make it attractive, or otherwise if we say something they will not listen to it. And for example, if a child, when he is lying on the floor and he wants me to lie on the floor with him and talk, and I can lie on the floor and talk with my children. I mean, we need to find a way that help us to connect with them. For example, we need to know their trending, and their style. So we need to know their style so that we can catch up with them, and we can understand each other. And by doing so, they will trust what we say. So that's the reason why I developed an animated MV, and it seems that it works, and it seems that it's funny and attracts children. But my issue here is that I just want to tell the children about, okay, drowning is visible and it can happen to anyone, so they need to be able to swim so that they can save themselves first. So I know that in the talk show today we have quite lots of different agency and also viewers and followers on fan page. Although I know that it is quite distracted when it is organized in the context of devastating COVID-19 pandemic, but drowning should not be neglected. because it relates to the safety and survival of your children. So I think this issue is also very important, even amid COVID-19 pandemic situation. Thank you. So, singer Hoàng Bách, you mentioned something that we need to know the trend or style of the children. So, for example, so we have produced a clip like the brown bee can swim, right? So it's a kind of trending. So we need to create trend for children together with the children as well. Thank you. So, Hoàng Bách, can I ask you one more thing? You mentioned that you are able to swim so that you can inspire other people, and also you are able to teach your children survival swimming and also water safety skill as well. But what about for other families where their grandparents and also their parents cannot swim? So I think it's quite a big challenge, right? What advice do you give them? So I think people who are attending the talk show got different skills, but just want to tell you my personal viewpoint. We should not be afraid of what we are doing, but we need to know what skills the people are lacking. So, I mean, even when parents are not able to swim, but when they take their children to swimming class, they can also learn swim together with their children as well. I mean, some popularity or make it popular is so important. I still remember one time when I went to an MC Phan giving and donating swimming pool to schools in the central provinces. It was so good because we gave them the swimming pool together with other soft skill toolkits like training skills, and they can conduct the training right in the school. And I mean, whatever the world become trending, and then we need to adopt the trending in the work. So I just wrote the lyrics for the old songs that become a trending, like where do we go farther, so that become very famous one. So can you tell me your upcoming product? Can we publish that one now? Yes, I'm ready if I am allowed. So okay, let come a trending song developed by Hoàng Bách. So let's see whether it is attractive or not. So I would like you all will sing together with me as well. Thank you. So we need to put on glasses when we swim, not for photoing, not for photograph. So we need to swim together with family members. Now when you are in the water, here are the list of skills that you need to remember. Not to swim in open water, not to swim alone. When you are there, you need to have life buoy. So it also embeds some lyrics of water safety skills. And when you are in the water, you need to remember these steps, 1, 2, 3, or whatever. father swim, mother swims, brother swims, and remember this, okay, whatever. You need to get warm up, put on lifebuoy, swim together. Do not swim in open lake. So the message is about swimming together with family members. So what do you think? What do you think? So I think it is a time for us to speak our mind after listening to and also watching the quite funny clips. So I would like to invite Miss Ha to have some reflection first. Well, thank you, Hạnh Phúc, and thanks, singer Hoàng Bách. I think the songs and the lyrics is so good. I think that children age 10 like it very much. I think so. In my opinion, with a program like this, the message that we want to send, not to create a safe living environment, but in order to have secure child drowning prevention, we need to have the engagement of all governments of all levels, community, families, and every child. Thank you, the Vice Minister. So, Mr. Huy, what do you want to share with our audience? Like Ms. Ha and other panelists, I really like this educational product developed by Mr. Hoàng Bách, and I hope that we can produce more products like this so that they can be attractive to children, and particularly school children. The message from myself, I think people have shared your thoughts on the program already, but I just want to share with you and children and also parents that child drowning can be completely prevented if every school children, if every child is provided with knowledge and safety skills. Thank you. So we want to hear the message from Dr. Kidong Park.
let's continue to invest adequate resources to prevent child drowning and ensure the safety of our children. We owe it to the future generation not to lose any child again from a highly preventable circumstance such as drowning.
Cảm ơn ông và xin mời bà Đoàn Thu Huyền.
Xin cảm ơn ông.
Trước tiên cảm ơn.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. So the message from Ms. Huyền, ZJI, every child life is priceless, so we have to do everything to protect the children. I want to call on more support from society and parents. We need to be more listening to the children so that they can develop more fully. And I hope that next year on the 25th of July 2022 we can hear more good news and good story. So what about you, Mr. Chánh Văn? So I also imagine the same days next year we will review what we have done so far, and we will see no child drown or die from drowning. But in order to do so, I also hope that all parents who are watching this live streams program, please pay more attention and care from you to your children. Because I know that children is the biggest assets of parents, and we don't know what will happen. We will not know the bad luck, which bad luck will happen to us. So I just want you to pay attention to your children, and you should give them more skills to be able to survive. And even my grandparents and my parents could not swim, but I'm sure that my children can swim. And I also hope more parents will be able to swim. If our generation cannot swim, even for me, my parents didn't take me to swimming class, so I could not swim. But I really want that my children will be able to swim. So I want parents to give more opportunity to the children. You will swim with your children in your swimming class? No, my children can swim already, so I just take them there already. Anyway, so we want to hear the message from you, singer Hoàng Bạch. Okay. Thank you very much for your reflection to the song. You know, this is the first time ever all family members, my family members, 5 people, even my little child, 22 months old, can also join us in the sing. So this is a product we developed together, and we need to be responsible to your children, and also be responsible to yourself. Like everybody, I have agreed that children are everything that parents have, right? So we need to provide them with knowledge and skills. So I think that's the first and most important thing that we need to do for our children. And I also echo on the point you mentioned that next year on the same day we will review the good work that we have done so far. And I also understand, and many of you really want to make our dream become true. So whatever methods that you can spread to the society, please take it on. And we know that different agencies and different people have different skills, but if we have a skill mix and we support with each other, we can bring the best interests and the best opportunity for our children. So we wish you very good health and stay well. Thank you. Thank you, Hoàng Bách, and hopefully that we can see again each other's next year on the World Drowning Prevention Day, so we can see more products from your work. We may have some product like swimming in the lake or swimming in the river and so on, right? So anyway, thank you very much for joining us in the program. And the message that we want to send to you is that anyone can drown, but no one should be. So with the support from international organizations and effort from the government of Vietnam, so we strongly believe that our national target for child drowning prevention will be implemented. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Đặng Hoa Nam, the director of DAC, and Ms. Hoa to give flowers to all our panelists in the talk show today. Thank you very much. So once again, we would like to thank all panelists and participants for joining us in the talk show today. We want to thank all the audience and attendees for joining us in the talk show. So we thank you very much for your time, and we also hope that you will join us to spread the message on child drowning prevention. The message is that anyone can drown and no one should be. So we thank you very much, and this is the end of our program. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Đi bơi là phải mang tính à, không phải để lên hình nha, không phải để thật xinh mà, phải để ta bơi tự tin. Đầu tiên ta phải khởi động nè, đếm từ 1 đến 10 nhé, trước khi muốn bơi một vòng. Đã chuẩn bị xong, trời đang hè nắng vẫn nóng, ta muốn đi bơi một ngày, cùng gia đình bơi đập tan mệt mỏi những ngày cuối tuần. Nhưng khi ta xuống nước để bơi ta phải nhớ những cái đắng để bơi trong an toàn. I like to swim, nhưng không bơi nơi sông hồ, phải bơi cùng nhau. Khi bơi phải có áo phao. I like to swim, nhưng khi bơi phải xếp hàng, không bơi ngoài xa, để ta thấy ta luôn an toàn. Kỹ năng để ta bơi trong an toàn, cuộc sống dài đẹp hơn khi ta luôn chuẩn bị kỹ. Khi bước xuống nước ta phải an toàn. You like to swim, you like to swim, he like to swim, you like to swim. My father swim, my mama swim, my brother swim. Remember this. One, nhớ phải khởi đầu, đầu tiên ta phải làm đâu. Two, phải mặc áo phao, bơi là phải bơi cùng nhau. Three, không bơi sâu hồ, xung quanh phải có cứu hộ. Four, nhận biết nguy cơ, giữ an toàn nhất khi bơi. Trời đang hè nắng vẫn nóng, ta muốn đi bơi một ngày, cùng gia đình bơi đập tan mệt mỏi những ngày cuối tuần. Nhưng khi ta xuống nước để bơi ta phải nhớ những cái đắng để bơi trong an toàn.